Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dugout Daily. I'm Charlie, and I'm again joined by Dan. This one was a tough one for us, I'm going to be honest. This is the top 10 Manchester City players of the Sheikh Mansour era. How are you, Dan, mate?
I'm very good, thank you, Chips. Yeah, as you said,
Great
it's a tough
to
one to do this, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Before we get going, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell here at Dugout Daily. Follow me on X as well at MCFC Hibs to keep your eye on any future videos. Before you moan, where's the Leeds review? This is being recorded before the Leeds game. Of course, the Leeds game will have been played by the time this video's out. Before we start, of course, we're going to go like normal rankings, start at number 10, work to number 1. Before we start, Dan, do you have any honourable mentions who didn't quite make your list?
Yeah, I've got a few, so if that's all I'll look at my list here. There's a few that I can definitely think of. So you've got the likes of you've got Edison, he's one. Joe Hart's the other keeper. Yeah, you've got several players who probably will make this list in a few years. Maybe Foden. Yeah, there's so many players that could be in this list, but just haven't quite made it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I've got Edison, like you said, not in there. Also, John Stones and Phil Foden, all 6-time Premier League winners, and Kyle Walker, actually, all not make my list. I've got Raheem Sterling, he's not in my list. And my final honourable mention is Riyad Mahrez. He also didn't make my list. I loved Mahrez, though. So we will start with number 10, where we have both agreed. We'll go to you first, Dan. We've both said Bernardo Silva. Why?
Yeah. Look, Bernardo is is a player who's been here for what feels like donkey's years, hasn't he? But he's been through a lot. He's seen everything. He's won a lot, and he is realistically probably the face of Pep Guardiola's Manchester City era. He is the engine behind all of his teams. Has been for since the Centurions when he first joined. He's been brilliant, and you can't not include it.
Yeah, definitely. As I've said, I also agree. Bernardo Silva's my number 10. Signed from Monaco in 2017, was, of course, part of the Monaco team that knocked us out the Champions League in 2017 as well, weren't it? He's established himself as a fan favourite and a cornerstone of Pep Guardiola's success. Of course, at the minute, he's probably I'd say our most important player. He's probably never been as important as he is right now at the club, to be honest. He's won 5 Premier League titles and a Champions League, as well as 2 FA Cups and 4 League Cups. His City career has been defined by immense work rate, tactical intelligence, and consistent big game performances. He won City's Player of the Year in the 18-19 season and has been part of the PFA Team of the Year twice as well. Next up, then, we will go to 9th place, where we've had our first disagreement. Dan has gone for actually a current player. I have gone for a former midfielder. So time for our number 9 then. We'll go to you first, Dan. You have gone for Erling Haaland. Why is that?
Well, I mean, I'm sure in a few years it'll be a lot higher up this list for me. But yeah, I mean, currently what he's done for us is a magnificent job. It feels so wrong putting him so far down. However, as I said, I think in a couple of years he could even be as high as number 1. But not yet. He's got, in my opinion, to be really stapled as number 1 or any higher up, he's going to have to win a few more golden boots. few more clutch goals probably, and break the goal scoring record, which I'm sure if he stays he will do. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
I think if he is to stay, he will break the Premier League record as well. But we'll see. That's the reason he's down so low. But there's absolutely no dampener on his quality there at all.
Yeah, we'll look at Haaland a bit later on as well, because I've got him slightly higher up my list. 9 for me. This felt so wrong, I'm going to be honest. This felt very, very low. I've gone Fernandinho. He enjoyed a glittering 9-year career at City, joined in 2013, left in 2022, and was the captain to a league title as well, and a legendary defensive midfielder. Won 13 major trophies, including 5 Premier League titles, and made 383 appearances for the club. Next up then, it is 8th place, and it's another agreement for us too. So our number 8 was Ilkay Gundogan. Pep Guardiola's first signing at the club in 2016, a club legend, of course, across 2 spells, and captained the side to the treble in 2023. He won 14 major trophies, including 5 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and the Champions League. He's known for his late brace against Aston Villa to win the league in 2022 and scored the fastest ever FA Cup final goal against them lot over the road in 12 seconds. 358 appearances, 65 goals, 47 assists, and as previously mentioned, had 2 spells at the club. What's your thoughts on Gundogan, Dan?
I mean, he's the treble-winning captain, and you can't not have him in this list. He's he is a ridiculously good player for us. Obviously, gave us some very, very memorable moments. I mean, I think I'll always remember the ball hitting the net after 12 seconds, and I didn't actually think it was real for a few minutes after. So, he won us that game, which I think effectively that FA Cup final won us the treble. You've got, leading the team in 2022 to win that magnificent league title against Liverpool. There's so many moments he's given us, and he was here for so long. He was a leader for so long. And enough said, really. He deserves probably to be a lot higher, but unfortunately, there's some seriously good players that are probably better technically than him.
Yeah, definitely. Looking back, this does seem very low again. It seems harsh, but what can you do? Next up, then, we will look at 2 players we've previously mentioned in 7th place, with Fernandinho and Haaland. So my 7th place is Erling Haaland. Is this high? Potentially. Is this recency bias? Also potentially. He's a goal machine, of course. 36 goals in his first Premier League season, of course, broke the record. And 52 goals on the way to the treble. That can't be forgotten. The fastest to reach 100 Premier League goals in 111 games, and 100 goals for a single club in Europe's top 5 leagues in 105 games. In under 4 seasons, he's won 7 major trophies, including 2 Premier Leagues and the Champions League. Secured back-to-back Golden Boots in his first 2 seasons, and was the first to win both Premier League Player and Young Player of the Season at the same time. He also holds the record for the most goals in a single 38-game Premier League season, and the most goals by a Premier League player in all competitions. And your number 7, Dan, is Fernandinho. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, Fernandinho for me is I hold a real soft spot for him, really. I think, he's criminally underrated. I think, there's not many players in that era that are better than him. I think, he's almost forgotten in a way. You never hear his name mentioned anymore. I think, he was unplayable, and he was really, really good and really influential for several City teams. In that 13-14 season, he came in and he hit the ground running and won the league in the first year. He was part of that league and cup double that we did. He then went on a few years later in that cup double. He had a few massive performances in the cup run. He was just solid. Every game. He was really good. Really, he didn't have that many bad games, and I had the pleasure of meeting him, and he was a really nice guy as well, which is probably why he's so high up this list.
Yeah.
But he is, he is brilliant, and a true City legend. Definitely won't be forgotten.
Definitely. On to number 6 then, and we have both agreed on this one, on another defensive midfielder. So our number 6 is Rodri, serving as the heartbeat of Pep Guardiola's side and famously scored the winning goal in the 2023 Champions League final, probably the best moment of most City fans' lives. Of course, the first player in City's history to win the Ballon d'Or as well as an active player. Won 11 major trophies with a club, including 4 consecutive Premier League titles, set a remarkable record by going 74 games unbeaten for City across all competitions between February 2023 and May 2024, and has made over 260 appearances and completed the most passes of any player in Europe's top 5 leagues in that time. Rodri's just simply unbelievable, isn't he, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, arguably could be number 1 just for that moment in Istanbul alone. You saw it happen when he went out, when he was injured last season. That was a bit. He is very similar to Fernandinho in my eyes, but just better. I mean, he's been there. He's done it for 5-6 years constantly, every week, 3 times a week. So you can't question his commitment or anything like that. He's also one of the only Spanish players that's come over and not complained about the weather, which is another thing that's just quite big for me. He's a City legend, definitely a crucial part of even the current team. So
definitely,
he is ridiculously good.
Definitely. And then next up then, our 4 and 5, we've got the same 2 players, but in a slightly different order. So my number 5 is Yaya Toure, the transformational powerhouse, and drive the club to our first 3 Premier League titles and cemented his legacy with a legendary 20-goal league campaign in the 13-14 season. Scored the winning goal in both the 2011 FA Cup semi-final and final to end City's 35-year trophy drought. Across 316 appearances, scored 82 and assisted 50, which is a phenomenal return for a central midfielder. He won 8 major trophies, including 3 Premier League titles, an FA Cup and 2 League Cups, and was named African Footballer of the Year 4 times in a row between 2011 and 2014. That shows my number 4 is Vincent Kompany, who, of course, was the captain for many years, led the club from mid-table to 4 Premier League titles, and famously struck the long-range winner against Leicester in 2019. Captained the side for 8 years, 12 major trophies, including 4 league titles, 2 FA Cups and 4 League Cups. Scored 20 goals across 360 appearances. And beyond his 2019 rocket, he scored the pivotal header against Manchester United in 2012 that swung the title race in City's favour for our first ever Premier League title, and was inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame in 2022 and has a statue outside the Etihad Stadium, of course. He is your number 5, Dan. What's your thinking behind that?
Yeah, he's captain, leader, legend. He gave us so many moments. I mean, I was a bit too young to remember that goal against United.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's and I do remember that goal against Leicester very well. Yeah, he was amazing. He would be slightly higher up my list if his injuries weren't so they weren't so common, I suppose.
Yeah.
But no, it takes nothing away from him. He was a brilliant leader for a pivotal era in the club's history, really, in that first sort of transition between going from the club that we were to what we are now. He was massive and could potentially return very soon as manager. So that could be a very interesting situation. And yeah, I mean, he's brilliant.
And your number 4 was Yaya Toure. We said before recording, actually, looking back, all the clutch moments he's had, has that pushed him up this list for you?
Yeah, definitely. I just think his all-round play as well. I think, I mean, it's interesting, and he's such a unique player when, he retired near, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've still not got a so-called Yaya Toure regen yet. There's no player that's anywhere near what he was.
No.
He was so powerful, so quick. On his day, physically, you cannot stop him. And the people who have played against him have said that. The way that he went from Barcelona, he played as centre back and then moved into the midfield here, and then somehow went that 2013-14 season where he went on that mental amount of goals. It was 20 odd goals or whatever it was from midfield, which is just ridiculous. And some of the screamers that he scored in that season as well. You can look at that goal in the in the League Cup final against Sunderland. There's just so many moments. He obviously helped beat United in the 2011 FA Cup semi-final, which will always be remembered by multiple fans.
Definitely.
who went down there. So yeah, he's an amazing player and definitely an iconic City player and a City legend at the end of the day.
100%. Moving to number 3 then, we've agreed for the top 3 and the order as well. Our number 3, and this seems very harsh again, I'm going to be honest, David Silva. El Mago, of course, 140 assists, 77 goals across 436 games. Was at the club for a decade, won 4 league titles, and some people see him as arguably the club's greatest ever player. Left in 2020 with 14 major trophies, including 2 FA Cups, 5 League Cups, and was part of the 100 points team and the Formidables the year after as well. Named in the PFA Team of the Year 3 times and won City's Player of the Season in the 100-point season. And of course, has a statue outside the Etihad as well. What's your thoughts on David Silva, Dan?
Yeah, look, it is very harsh. And, there is people that would be absolutely screaming right now with him being number 3. But yeah, look, he was an absolute freak of nature, I think, and another player who was just unplayable. And I think we were very lucky to hold on to him in that period where, you had Real Madrid and Barcelona having every top player in Europe. I think, he was one of them that I think, we were very, very lucky to keep hold of because he could quite easily fit into, I'm going to say he could quite easily play in that Barcelona team of 2015. Easily. He could have played in any team. You could argue any team in history he was that good.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
World Cup winner, obviously. I think that, so many different aspects to his game that were just top notch. The reason he's 3 is just because of the soft spot for the top 2, I think. in terms of actual players, I don't think many have come better technically ever than David Silva. He was ridiculous and very, very unlucky to be number 3, and it wasn't an easy choice to make. But
yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. And next up, then, our number 2, which of course will reveal our number 1. We have both gone for Sergio Aguero. 260 goals in 390 games. The club's all-time record scorer, as it stands. Of course, Haaland could beat that. A record 12 Premier League hat-tricks. Clinched the club's first title with his iconic 93-20 goal in 2012 against QPR. Is the highest scoring overseas player in Premier League history as well. Over 10 seasons, he won 15 major trophies with 5 league titles and 6 league cups. Maintains the best goals per minute ratio in Premier League history for any player with over 100 goals, and is another player who has a statue outside the Etihad. Why is Aguero number 2, Dan?
I mean, why is he number 2? How isn't he number 1? I mean, it's such a difficult thing to try and choose between this player and the player who's at number 1. But I mean, Aguero was obviously. I mean, he was my favourite player growing up whilst I was very young. You know, he joined. You know, to the point where he was probably the player that got me the most interested in City very quickly as well. He was definitely my favourite from my first game, first season that I remember watching. Obviously, 93-20 moment that will never be topped. So you can't ignore stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And he is so lucky to be number 2 because, he was so good for so much time, and you can't. It just feels so wrong putting him at number 2 because he is Manchester City, but for what he did for us, I mean, he absolutely a legend, and he's actually, I'd probably say he probably deserves maybe a stand named after him, or building a bigger statue.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a City legend, and absolutely brilliant. Yeah, he's so good.
100%, 100%, and if you asked, I'd say 95% of City fans our age, they'd say their favourite player growing up was Aguero. I'd say that, you'd say that, I think most people would say that. And that will reveal our number 1, of course, which is Kevin De Bruyne. Unbelievable. That is how I'd describe him, to be honest. Freak of nature, like you described. David Silva as well. The Belgian joined in 2015. Probably one of the Premier League's greatest ever playmakers. 6 league titles and was part of the treble team. Fastest player to reach 100 Premier League assists and holds the record for the joint most assists in a season with 20. 16 major trophies, including 2 FA Cups and 5 League Cups and 6 league titles. 2-time PFA Player of the Year, and has been named in the FIFA Pro World 11 4 times in a row. And has scored over 100 goals, including crucial strikes in Champions League semi-finals and title-deciding matches as well. Just look at that picture. Look at all the stuff he's won at this football club. It's simply remarkable, isn't it, Don?
Yeah, I mean, everything he's won them. He is in my opinion, our greatest ever player. Who'd have thought that this little Manchester City would have a player that has stuck with us for 10 years and is, in my opinion, probably at the same table as Iniesta, Zidane, Pirlo. Is definitely up there with the greats of the Premier League, with Gerrard, Lampard. I just think that consistency for 10 years as well. He is by far the best that we've ever seen and probably ever will see. I think, you know, you don't find players like that everywhere. You know, we felt very lucky with his situation at Wolfsburg in 2015.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, just look at what he's won. That is, you know, ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
he is definitely a freak of nature. He's the way I put it, David Silva on steroids with a better shot on, well, a better shooting range than him anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, De Bruyne, number one. I think if he doesn't get a statue, it should definitely be a stand named after him, I think.
Oh, definitely. And it was, as I said, this was very tough. If you've got any other suggestions, any names we missed out on, even players like Zabaleta, players from that era as well, the Mancini era, Pellegrini era. And even if we went before the Sheikh era, you've got your likes of Colin Bell, Mike Summerby, etc. That could be an interesting one as well, of course, both before our time. That's why we didn't cover that. But if you've got any other video ideas, get them in the comments, because I don't know about you, Dan, I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it was really fun. Obviously, looking back at pretty much the past decade or past 15 years, you know, through the club and some of the things that we've experienced, is it's been a brilliant video to make.
Yeah, definitely. So if you've got any other suggestions in the comments, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell as well, and follow me on X at MCFC Hibs, and we will see you for the next one. Everyone take care, and come on City. Cheers, guys.